Hi guys, welcome to the next installment of Little People Big Dreams. Today we're going to learn about the famous young girl who wrote a diary whilst being hunted down by Nazis in World War II, and her name was Anne Frank. And her story is absolutely amazing, terrifying and heartbreaking at the same time. Okay, so let's learn about Anne Frank. Anne Frank. So, Anne was a little Jewish girl who was born in Germany. She lived happily with her parents and her older sister Margot in the city of Frankfurt, which is a city in Germany. Here's Anne here. But when she was 4, an ugly man with a little black moustache became the leader of her country. His name was Hitler. He hated the Jewish people and he wanted them to disappear. Here's Adolf Hitler here. You may have heard of him. He was the leader of the Nazi Party in Germany in World War II, and he discriminated Jewish people, amongst others. And here's Anne here playing with her little sister. Anne's family moved away to Holland, which was a free country. Anne's father opened a business and they had a home where they felt safe. And here's the family all happy here. But one day, the Nazis invaded half of Europe and arrived in Holland. Anne and all the other Jewish children were forced to go to separate schools and wear a star on their chest. That star is a religious symbol in Judaism, and the star was meant to show people who Jewish people were in their community. For her 13th birthday, Anne's parents gave her a diary. That day, she discovered the pleasure of writing on her own. Anne wrote in her diary about her family, about how her family lived in fear of being arrested. They decided to leave their home and move to a secret annex behind a bookshelf at the building where her father worked. So they made a secret room behind a bookshelf to keep them safe if people came hunting them. They had to share their tiny new home with another Jewish family and stay very quiet. They could not leave their hiding place in case of anyone finding them. And if they find them, it was likely that they would either put them into a concentration camp or they would be, unfortunately, killed. Anne's diary kept her company and she wrote in it for hours and hours. She wanted to publish a book and become a famous writer. Here's her diary here. But one day, Anne stopped writing. The Nazi soldiers had found them all, and they were all arrested. Anne's diary was left behind in her room. The family were pushed onto a train full of people on its way to a concentration camp. It took 3 long days for them to arrive at the worst place on earth. Anne's father, Otto, was the only member of the family to survive. He found her diary and wept as he read what his young daughter had written. So her father was the only one who survived. Anne unfortunately died in the concentration camp, as did millions of other Jewish people. He decided to publish the diary and share Anne's story, and just as she would have wanted, the world was taken back by this amazing girl. So, Amsterdam is in the Netherlands or Holland, which is here. So here we are, Bristol, and here is Amsterdam here. So it's not actually that far away from us. It's closer than Glasgow, where Mr. Patrick's from. So this is a typical picture of what Amsterdam does look like. And within Amsterdam, I've been there. There's an amazing opportunity. You can go and visit where she lived and hid away from the Nazis. And it's called the Anne Frank House. If you go onto their website, you can actually have a look through lots of photos here about how she lived. And when you go to secondary school, it's likely you will read her amazing diary. She was such a talented writer. And here's actually what her handwriting and diary looked like. Okay, guys, what a powerful but upsetting story that was. And it shows how defiant and amazing Anne was, regardless. She kept writing in her diary despite the fact that she was being discriminated against and hunted down. And then, sadly, her life ended in a very sad way. But she has been remembered forever, and her dream of becoming a writer became true. Okay, guys, thanks for listening, and I hope to speak to you tomorrow for the last installment of our Little People Big Dreams week. Bye.